Look, man. Where? Oh, I see. Wow. Oh, my. Bowen, look over there. Wow, is that culture? Yes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. Yeah. Las Culturistas.
Ding dong, Las Culturistas calling with a big announcement.
Oh my gosh, we can finally say the sleuths have been getting their magnifying glasses out, smoking from their little pipes.
Mm-hmm. Sherlock Holmes. Are we going to have to create a new category? Readers, Katie's, publicists, finalists, Kyle's, and Sherlock Holmes? No, we're not going to
That's
do that.
enough.
Yeah.
Kyle's, I also want to just fold into Katie's. Can we just officially fold Kyle's
No,
into
we can't do that. And what? So
I like
where did that
4.
come from?
I like 4.
I don't. And this isn't about no, you know what? I can't believe it's already this acrimonious. You can come in here, you fly in with your big ideas. You're supposed to run this by me. Why would Kyle's float into Katie's? You think I forced the Kyle's through?
I wouldn't say that you ran it by my ass. Honey. Well, anyway, we can have this discussion later.
We can have this
big announcement.
But here's the thing. Maybe Kyle should do something to make it so that they deserve to stay.
Kyle's, y'all better hit us up if you want to be in the acronym.
We're talking to you. Oh, by the way, later on in the episode, when we bring our guest in, I want to pitch my Kyle Richards spinoff.
I don't think we need any more of her on my television.
Well, I think you might disagree with me when you hear what I have to say.
Is it Kyle Richards does tongue twisters and we can't even understand her more? I lost it.
Big old bitch.
Well, I'm just like, I'm still trying to hear. This is my Kyle Richards impression. like her
when she gets emotional, she does sort of.
That's actually. You know what? No, we do need more Kyle Richards on TV.
When you hear my idea for the spinoff, you're going to be like,
yes.
Get that girl and her twisted tongue.
Green light.
On the screens again. I have such a good idea for her.
Okay, speaking of Bravo, I think it is public now. August 5th, the Las Culturistas Culture Awards will be on Bravo and streaming on Peacock the next day.
Yes, immediately streaming on Peacock. This is going to be incredible. We are filming it in LA. We can't say where, we can't say when yet. All this information is going to come out piecemeal over the next couple of months. But yes, it's true. I guess in a way, Publicist season has begun. This
means Publicist season has begun. That's why it's a little bit delayed. Normally we have them in June, obviously. Mm-hmm. The timeline is a little bit sort of shifted down, but your work begins now.
Yeah, we can officially say we truly start award season now.
Yes.
Because it's going to be us August 5th. And then the next month, probably 3 weeks into the month in September is the Emmys, whenever that is.
Yes.
But we will be first. It's time for everyone to start talking about people, things, places, happenings that you think need to be called out and shout out. Categories will be announced soon.
Yes. And nominees following after.
And then we're going to have a big old show again in LA. We'll say more about when later, but August 5th, 8/5, big day.
We have a Culture Award winner here.
Yes, Culture Award winner. I was trying to count how many times our guest has been on the show. I think this is like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
But then that wasn't including all of the sort of iconic I Don't Think So Honey appearances.
Of course. Oh my God. Gauntlet Do Gag. How about that?
Wow. Remember the Gauntlet Do Gag where our guest
Fest.
famously said, I don't think so, honey, when you fart and a little cum comes out in front of my mother, father, and sister. Thus bringing us all closer.
Yeah.
And he still didn't even win.
He should have, though.
No, well, Rachel Pegram won.
Iconically won.
Yeah.
And she is, yes. Rachel Pegram did win that fair and square, but you know, it's like any awards show where there's the winners and then there's the people that you
rigged. Well, I mean, you'd have to take that up with our judges for that show, which were Jinx Monsoon and Alaska.
Icons.
Wow.
Well,
the Lost Coach really has remained over the years.
It has remained.
Lost Coach really has remained over the years. It's actually Real Coach number 4. Lost Coach really has remained over the years. We'll get to work on that book soon at some point, too. So our guest is the host of Bravo, speaking of, Love Hotel.
Yes.
Which airs on, go ahead and say it.
April 27th, 8/7 Central, after Atlanta.
Which,
Sunday.
by the way, Atlanta has been great.
I've heard.
I know that we're going to talk a lot about the happenings in Housewives right now. Remember, we're recording this, what is it?
April 16th.
So we're about some days behind where we are when this comes out, but we're gonna give generalized thoughts.
No, right. This is airing the 30th. Thank you.
Airing the 30th. So listen, everybody. Our guest. You love our guests from the film Fire Island, the television show Loot, stand up all across America and the world.
Australia
even. God, it's just like cool it. You know what I mean? Cool it. Like getting on.
The Delta must be diamond.
Well, I bet it is. Everyone, please welcome into your ears, Joel Kim Booster.
Million Miler, actually.
Really?
Miler?
Yes, honey.
Are you a million
She
miler?
gets driven to her connecting flight on the tarmac.
On the Porsches.
Yes.
In the Porsches.
In the Porsche.
You know that is a good perk. But one thing is like you better make sure that you don't have your AirPods in, or else when they call your name for that, you're gonna miss it one day.
Yeah, no. I just got back from Boston in my little pod and left my wallet
No.
at the airport, and it has ruined my life because boy, do I not have proof of citizenship.
Whoa.
Which in this climate,
you need it.
tough stuff.
So does that? Where's your passport?
I have a passport, but here's the thing. That is no longer enough. And I have a provisionary birth certificate that Illinois issued me because Korea can't find mine.
Jesus, Korea.
This
it's actually roller culture number 8. Jesus, Korea.
But wait.
I mean, I was likely stolen, let's be honest. But
Honestly,
Okay.
the beginning of your life was a caper. The beginning of Joel Kim's life was a caper.
Starring George Clooney.
Yeah, and J-Lo. Imagine if that was out of sight. I've never seen it.
I've never seen it. Wait, so what do you mean it's no longer enough?
well, I literally got my real ID with this provisionary birth certificate that Illinois issued, but that is no longer. They need like the real hard copy of it now.
Come on. What do you mean now? Like in the
It's because like back when I got the real ID a couple of years ago, it was all fine and dandy. And I did scam my way into getting a replacement real ID by holding my thumb over the provisionary part of the birth certificate when I got to the desk, and they don't care.
can't reveal this.
The woman in line. Oh, whatever. I don't think any of the
he's really big
Katie's
for his purchase as a
readers-
million miler.
yeah. But no, the thing is like the woman in line who checked my documents was like, they won't take this. And then I got to the desk, and of course she did because
Right.
she doesn't care about her job. She has no loyalty to the DMV.
It makes me feel so sad when people so obviously don't care about what they do. Like or they're so checked out and hate what they do so much and I just walk away from people like that and I'm like, God, they have to sit there and do that all day. How do we bring joy to the world?
You would rather they be River Ramirez's character in
Yes.
I stand with Bank of America.
Stand with Bank of America.
I stand with Bank of America. I think the funniest moment in any film.
It's
I think
cinema history.
the funniest moment of 2024.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Like bar none.
that
yes,
was
yes.
so fucking good.
That is like, where was the nom? It's Viola Davis in Doubt level. Like
No, this
coming
is
in.
and this is what I keep saying. And now that we're out of Oscar season and no one can really take offense because it's all over, I have to say the category fraud was worse than ever this year.
Sure.
It's so bad. We need rules to change the way this is because how can we honor the River Ramirez's of the world? And how can we keep honoring the Viola Davises of the world, who, mind you, I will remind you, the reason we have Viola Davis is because she got an Oscar nomination
Exactly.
for a 14-second performance.
The
in
race
Doubt.
should have been Ariana Grande versus River Ramirez. Period.
down.
Until they change it. Like when
can we do?
I'm very I don't are they gonna change it? Are the Oscars gonna go gender free?
No, because it's they
Who has those so far? The Indie Spirits have.
They have it. The
Gothams.
Gothams have it. I believe like a lot of the critics things have
Yeah,
it,
a lot of the
but
critics
not
ones.
all. The Golden Globes don't. Critics' Choice doesn't.
yeah. Well, the wave has begun,
Yeah.
and we are restarting the wave here. We're rippling it here.
Like, you know what I think would be fun? If it's like everyone shows up to the Oscars and no one knows who's
Everyone wears
nominated
a
and who's
gown.
not. And it's a surprise. 5 people get Oscars and it's a total surprise. It's totally random.
You've said this before.
I love it. It's like, okay, we're gonna announce one winner.
Have I told you about the production of Urinetown that my college did my senior year before we graduated?
No.
Remind
Wherein
us.
they put up the cast list. It was just a list of names, and we were all confused. No cast, no characters. Okay, everyone was very confused. And then we come to find out that they will all be wearing black, all be wearing masks, and I'll be playing every part, and every night will be different. because they will pass the ball, quote unquote, mid-song or mid-line, mid-scene.
Chaos.
This is
to each other.
terrible.
It was one of the worst things I have ever
I was
seen
on board
this is
until
terrible.
entire life. Because it's like, I just want to see the
That's
one bitch who
awful.
can hit the note.
Right.
And privileged to pee. I just want to see that one bitch who actually can hit the note.
Yes.
He was set up to fail by being born with a male voice.
Yeah.
Oh.
We all were. It's actually Real Culture number 30. We were all set up to fail by being born with a male voice.
AMAB voice is a curse.
AMAB voice? Who cares what we can sing about?
Oh my God.
It's real.
Yeah, so that sounds like your production of the Oscars, honestly.
But I'm not even
Awards
behind
is
this.
different. No, I am. I would
I'm
love
like half
that.
behind this. I'm like, I don't know how to fix it, but it needs to be fixed. I did have a whole like rubric with how they could do the lead and supporting things, but then I'm just like, I don't know. Ultimately, who cares?
Right.
Where are you finding the time to sit down at Google Sheet and break this
Joel,
down
you've known
for
me
yourself?
what over 10 years. You know I just sit here and talk. Where am I finding the time?
the thoughts.
Here and now.
I don't know. But no, I am genuinely curious about the same thing of like, what is your in the day, like when do you find the time to watch videos about Universal Studios, to watch
me?
videos about to read prognosticators? Like you do have a really wonderful palette in terms of your media.
But we all three of us sitting here know that acting is 90% sitting around,
100%.
drinking La Croix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like you're at your. I'm sure you're in that chair.
Here's the thing, and to answer your question and probably actually start a conversation about what are specific things that we go online for.
I have one
I
belt.
only have like 3 or 4 little online hobbies. And to be honest with you, ever since I was a very young gay kid, going online and looking what was getting like the Oscar buzz and finding out what was happening in the film industry was always one of them. So now that I'm like in the business, it directly aligns with what my online interests always were. And the same is true of like me being on Roller Coaster Tycoon when I was a little kid and like wanting to know what was going on in that industry. So that's still one of my niche interests. But it's like literally Real Housewives, like what's going on in the theme park industry and what's going on in the entertainment industry. And when awards season kicks up, that really is in high gear. But those are my things. And I'm curious like what your guys' things are.
Especially after this Japan trip, I am like, and you guys have known this about me, but it is specifically Final Fantasy games, and all I've been doing on this press tour, I just finished press for Wedding Banquet, and what I've been doing in between is just playing this fucking game, being a botanist, going around the woods collecting tree bark and collecting plants.
Are we talking Rebirth?
No, so 7 Rebirth, absolutely one of the best final boss sequences ever. But I'm talking about the MMO Final Fantasy 14.
Oh,
where
I'm still in that MMO world.
I'm 10 years into this fucking game. I love this game. So some of the best storytelling period in any medium. I am Jonathan Bailey voicing a little cat boy. I've always hyped up Jonathan Bailey's performance as Grahatia, and I've even told him on the set of Wicked. I said, I just have to tell. After he complimented
Grahatia
me,
is a lyric from Abracadabra.
it's Grahatia.
Grahatia! Oh, I just got coffee all over my good fucking shirt.
First of all, you don't know
I think it will be okay.
the niche culture of people, of gamers who are going to die at the fact that you have made a lost culture moment out of singing the name Grahatia.
I just want to say I sang Grahatia to Abracadabra Lady Gaga, and I think ruined this.
No, dry clean it, baby.
We'll just dry clean it, and we'll
I love this too.
it's a really good knit.
Yeah, no.
This is a knit I wore
this
to
is
Coachella.
it like only LA.
Only
You
LA.
wear
Oh, I
that,
know.
that weight of
Chris,
a
feel
tank
it.
top.
Did you feel
that
it?
weight of a tank top.
So this type of fabric,
Yeah.
this is just water.
No,
thank you.
that'll
I think
be-
this'll
that'll
okay.
do, yeah.
You guys, sorry, but this is all going in the episode.
It's all going in the
no,
episode.
because this is a very real human moment of sisters being by me and there for me and supporting me when I ruined my Todd Snyder tank that can only be worn in LA.
Oh, that could only be worn in LA pre-Coachella.
Anyways,
We're going to get into I just want to
speak
say
more
quickly,
on Grahatia.
Well, I complimented on the set of Wicked Jonathan Bailey's performance of Grahatia after he was so kind and effusive about Fire Island.
yeah.
So anyway, that felt like the proper exchange. Okay, Joel, what are your internet
I
things?
mean, mine right now is literally YouTube essays about movie projects that never happened.
Be Kind
that's
Rewind.
good.
Be Kind Rewind.
Be Kind Rewind is one of them. Bullets and Blockbusters is the one that I'm really into. And quite frankly, hours and hours and hours of Marvel Rivals.
Really?
I am
playing
so deep into Marvel Rivals and watching YouTube videos. All I
About
do in
Marvel
my
Rivals.
trailer is watch YouTube videos about Marvel Rivals.
Explain, because I have not dipped my toe in Marvel Rivals.
It's Overwatch, but with Marvel
Yes.
characters. And I never played Overwatch. I never played any of these kinds of games before because it seems like I need a game that has an end point. Otherwise, it will happen what has happened to me with Marvel Rivals, which is I've played over 200 hours of this game since December. The last 4 large arguments that I have gotten in with my fiance
100%.
have been about this game.
What are the arguments centered around?
Well, just me getting tilted,
yeah.
like fully,
Oh, yeah.
like getting in a losing streak and wanting and like getting so angry. And he's like, you can't. This is a game. And then,
Well, yeah.
and then
It's your
and then
version
we-
of having a sports team and yelling at
Yeah,
the
no,
TV,
truly,
and your
truly.
wife JM being like, "I can't live like this."
Who are you?
No.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it's so ironic because he's a video game producer.
Yes,
if you don't know.
he understands
He
where you're coming
understands,
from.
but like, and he's wanted me to get into games. You know, we've played games together a lot, but like this kind of game for a minute, and then I did, and it's turned into something quite.
Yes.
The slope was
Dive off.
slipperier than you thought.
Can I ask, not to reveal too much about JM? Well, not people know this about JM. Would it be different if you played League of Legends?
No,
Okay,
because
because JM is associated in
yes,
some
he
way.
works it right, but
Yeah.
like, I don't think he definitely doesn't care
What
that-
it is.
Yeah, what it is.
Okay.
but
He probably thinks it's beautiful, the game you love.
yeah, no, I mean, he plays himself too, but like
Right.
that's the problem is like we're directly playing this game, and he is so much better at video games than I am, and it's this first time where I'm like, we never compete, but like there is like you get ranked in this game.
Oh, that will
And
do you.
the ranking,
in.
it's like,
Oh.
boy, do I. It's like I cannot stand that he is a higher rank than me.
How much
course
higher?
Like a fair amount. Like it's gotten to the point where we can't play together because he's.
Oh,
in a
he's in a
rank.
different tier.
He's in a different tier than I am.
I don't understand how athletes are friends with professional athletes are friends with each other, because that is a thing, a system where there is a value system, literally.
For
But,
love
like,
of the game.
At least it's an objective standard. I mean, the fact that we're all still friends, quite frankly, is ridiculous.
if there was a numerical system that
Can you
ranked
imagine
us,
if they ranked gay actors?
I mean, they
the
kinda would
ranking of
kill
gay
each
They
actors.
other.
do, though. They do.
I mean, they do, but
them
like,
is publishing it currently as we speak.
no,
like,
but that's not real.
I always know where I stand when there's an announcement about the podcast, and it's like Chapel Roan was on Bowen Yang's podcast,
Stop.
Las
Oh my God.
Culturistas. I always
mean-
remember that I'm like down here in 54, and we're sitting here with 3.
and 3 is a chasm away from 2.
okay, let's talk about it then. Who's 1 and 2 right now?
I think Jonathan's probably
Jonathan's
one.
one.
And I would
Jonathan's
say number 2 is
Is
Andrew.
McKellen.
Matt Bomer. Andrew Scott.
Andrew Scott. Oh, for sure. I'm 3.
the famous
not
3.
not
The
3.
famous 3.
I'm not 3. Let's be very clear.
Babe,
You don't have permanence on your
You had
number.
like the third most viral moment from the fucking Academy Awards.
Yeah.
So let's not play games.
3 in that.
Yeah.
you're
And let's
right.
talk about your amazing performance in the wedding banquet.
No,
for a
we're
second.
not talking
Yes, we have to
Wait,
talk
if you
about it.
haven't yet seen The Wedding Banquet,
It's
I've
out
seen
now.
it twice.
It's out now.
It's so good. It's fantastic. It's in theaters.
It's in theaters.
And
the
can we
entire
get-
cast crushes it.
Yeah, it's so good. It's a great passing of the ball. I mean, it's, we're talking here. What?
My friends are being sweetheart angels, and that's very.
But no,
nice.
Bowen, you're so incredible in it. Everybody, and like, you're literally next to fucking Lily Gladstone.
Lil.
And can I tell you, I told her this at the premiere the other night. I took her hands in mine and I said, "We know you can act, Mama,
Yes,
but I did not know you could make me laugh like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not know you could land the joke."
just
And that's a
sweet.
Riot Games
Yeah.
right there. She's
Yeah.
a riot.
Yeah.
She is a riot. So she gives such like a sweet, soulful performance. I love Kelly Marie Tran.
Kelly Marie Tran.
I'll die for her.
I hope that this is like her Phoenix Rising rebirth.
I love her.
Yes.
Because the way these fucking geeks and nerds and losers and incels treated that woman
Oh yeah, no.
during Star Wars.
Yep.
And,
It's
and
crazy.
the infrastructure of Disney and Star Wars not protecting her
No.
more.
100%.
And what I find to be the perfect sort of inversion of that is that she felt that she was given time and space to come out as queer. Like she did this Vanity Fair interview and she kind of blurted out that she was like excited to make a movie as a queer person, a queer movie as a queer person. She's like, wait, I've never told anyone that before publicly. The journalist David Canfield, bless, and the producers of the movie were like, we're going to hold the story until you decide what you want to do with this. And then she came out, made that decision, and then has felt nothing but love and support ever since. And I'm like, that is the perfect panacea to that crazy experience of Star Wars, which I'm like, now it just seems like it's not quaint in retrospect at all. That is, it still remains crazy to me in terms of that scale and that outrage. But I'm like, we've all kind of experienced that here in some degree too, where I'm like, God, what is... And it's the thing that Matt has said. It's like, it's bad. The culture is bad because the political climate sucks, and therefore people exercise any kind of control or will over the culture, over what they consume. And so I'm like, I'm so glad Kelly has this moment to come out of that and be like, oh, I now I know what it's like to be like held and loved for who I am.
She's really fantastic in the movie. Like, and it's also like I did the Q&A. There was like a special screening last night. I did a Q&A with Andrew and the cast, and one thing that I was noticing is she's got so many individual relationships to play. She's really it's a true ensemble, but she is the lead.
Yeah.
Andrew is such a fucking wonderful collaborator.
Yeah, he's great.
He allows every performer to put so much, and I can tell. I just know, knowing him and having worked with all of you two. Like, I was watching the movie and I was like, well, that's Bowen.
Yeah,
that was Bowen.
Yeah,
you know, and like that, like there's a beautiful silent moment between Lily Gladstone and Kelly Marie Tran that came from them.
So great.
That Andrew, collaborated with them. This scene that has no dialogue, that is one of the most beautiful scenes, and that came from them. And and the fact that Andrew allows space for that in his films. I mean, you guys remember Fire Island was just sort of like,
there was so much connective tissue there. And one thing I was noticing is like the theme and like this of Polaroid pictures and family photos. Like, my compliment to him that I'll say now on the podcast is I feel like I could walk into the house of the wedding banquet, because the house where they live is also a character. And I say that in not an annoying Sex in the City is like the city is the fifth woman way. I just mean like the house is this like beautiful landmark, but it's more than that. Yeah. I feel like I could walk into that house and know where everything is.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a director, his sense of place and his sense of like community within an environment is so strong, and he's so gifted at creating atmosphere.
Yeah.
Can I say though, Matt, unfortunately, like, intent doesn't always relate to impact. So you're saying it not to be annoying, doesn't?
But unfortunately, I was super annoying.
We decide.
All right,
so
now go ahead and say, was it annoying or not?
No.
Oh, great! I was nervous there for a second.
No way.
Personally, can I say too, that I had a really emotional moment when I went to the premiere and the big poster was on the screen, and it was the first time I'd ever seen from the director of Fire Island.
Yeah.
And it made me feel so like, I was like, oh, that is kind of forever for a sec. Well, at least like it's still alive in that way. And there's like a legacy now. Like our movies are sisters, like in a lot of ways.
Yeah, totally.
But it's that quote in the studio, in that pilot of the studio that Catherine O'Hara says, where it's like, if you make a great movie, or if you make a good movie, great movie, it's great forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the beauty of film.
And I'm going to say this, and I don't care.
We're masturbating. I don't care that we're masturbating.
But like, somebody posted a photo of a bootleg DVD that they had created of Fire Island, and I reposted it, and everyone thought I was mad about the bootleg. No, baby, please bootleg the film. Okay,
I need physical media.
Yeah, we actually do need physical media.
Yeah, because I'm like, the way it's living on streaming and like at the whims of Disney and whatever tax breaks they might be looking for at any given moment is so scary to me that I'm like, I need you all to disseminate. It would be currency in the new world.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I actually did? Like, not recently, but not a long time ago. Like, someone, I hadn't even thought about "I Love That for You" in a while, but I was like, You know what? It's been like a couple years since I've watched it. Let me just like watch it. I was with a couple friends and we watched it because now you can't even watch it. You have to buy it on iTunes. You can't stream it. They did write it off as a tax thing.
That's crazy.
And you can't watch it anywhere. They did such great work and then it gets written off like a fucking tax write-off. And that
line
happens
item.
all the time now in the era of streaming, which I guess we thought we really had it good there for a while because we did.
I mean, Netflix, thank you so much for completely changing the contours of our entire industry for the worse in many ways. And also, please buy my shit.
It's like I guess if it hadn't been them, it would have been somebody.
No, totally.
You know what I mean? It's like that's I guess the thing is it's like that's the way the industry was going to change. You know what I was thinking about the other day was the Quibi of it all. Like Quibi like failed so spectacularly. Like we both had shows like launch with it, but the idea wasn't wrong.
No, because listen, my boyfriend works for a Chinese-owned company and has meetings with China over there all the time. And TikTok in China is much different than TikTok over here in some ways because all they're doing is creating now narrative content that is broken down into 5 to 10 minute chunks,
AKA
over time,
Quibbies.
AKA quick bites, and it's taking off like wildfire in China, and it will be modeled over here eventually. He was just too early, and I think the pandemic kind of fucked him
The
over.
pandemic certainly
And
fucked
the
it
lack
up.
of ability to make stuff viral was really
Yes,
what killed it.
The lack of
You
being
couldn't have
you
any
couldn't
conversation.
screenshot.
Screenshot, you're right.
That was a
I remember
huge.
that.
I remember we had to game show had to completely rely on like what the social was.
Yes.
Right,
and I was like, sure,
And if
but like you
Evan
don't
Ross
know
Katz
what's gonna
isn't taking
be.
screenshots of it, honey, and posting about it, then we ain't
Evan Ross
talking
Katz
about
wasn't even born at the time. There was no Evan Ross Katz to screenshot this stuff.
That's how K-dramas are too, apparently. Because Gi-chan was saying, Han Gi-chan, Wedding Banquet, fantastic.
He's so good.
Huge find.
Huge find.
Like
So good.
What a revelation.
I know. Amazing.
Him. I was saying like one of my favorite moments of the whole movie is this is a spoiler, but there's a moment of like pure joy and euphoria that he has towards the end of the movie.
Future
And
legend, so sweet. But he comes from this whole like pedigree of K-dramas where they just it's basically a movie. It's like what Fire Island would have been on Quibi, but they break it down into like these 10-minute episodes. It's really that is the future in a scary way.
they were without a like I genuinely believe that one of the reasons why we even talk about all of these things is because there was a piece of content to launch it. Like with Netflix, like the reason why they became a prestige streamer was because of House of Cards, and then Orange is the New Black solidified it. The reason why we talk about
Kevin Spacey out the door.
Yes. Oh my God, he's coming in the door. It's our surprise guest, Kevin Spacey. And then like even HBO, like The Sopranos and Sex and the City, like made HBO.
Yeah.
So Quibi was without a flagship piece of content.
Yeah.
Because they went for, and this is not even to drag what we were doing, but like stuff that felt like quick bites.
Yeah. No, and the thing is, though, I will say, is they took big swings. Like, no one wanted to buy Fire Island.
Mm-hmm.
No one. Before it was a completed project at Quibi,
Right.
No one wanted that. No one would touch it.
Yeah,
and
it was originally a quick bite.
Yeah, and then they were the only ones who really believed in it as a project, and like. Yeah, so I owe Jeffrey Katzenberg my fucking.
I remember walking from the office that Dave and I shared at Jack's over to your office and watching Joel put like the index cards up on the board, and they had the Fire Island plot points when he was still creating it as like a 10 episode. Quibi
I mean, it
thing.
didn't change much from Quibi, by the way, to Searchlight. Like, I basically just took out the act breaks and like squeezed it together and made it one big long script. But yeah, no, it didn't really change.
But they would have made you cast like George Clooney as Conrad.
No, we basically had like a full cast of like Bowen was always attached to it. Like I think you probably were even because we were getting ready to film.
We were.
I remember who my Charlie was.
Yeah. So it was like we were there, and then I don't know. It just it all changed.
Okay, wait, because did you see? I think it was like Gay Times or something, and now is like talking about the Fire Island sequel.
I will kill Andrew
again.
on. I want this on record.
We have to put it to bed. It's not happening.
He was pushed in the interview about the sequel, and I think he was forced to give an answer, and then they of course ran with it.
Yeah, no, listen, no, we've all been fucked over by poll quote headlines before.
I think everyone has been asked about that.
I'm not really that mad about it, but the thing is like it's just
it's not happening.
Let's talk about Legally Blonde 2, honey. Let's talk about Reality 2.
First of all, Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde. We can skip it because now there's going to be another one.
Yeah.
Legally Blonde 3 is the real sequel.
Yeah, no, but it's just like let's talk about successful comedy sequels, especially rom-com sequels. I think people think they want to see it, but they don't actually want to see it. Like I think what I want to do and what will scratch that
Neighbors 2, it's the rare sequel that improves on the original.
But like I think like I just want to cast the same fucking people in the same movie. Do Christopher Guest and just have like my
so do it.
And you'll be hearing from my lawyer.
That's what I had heard. Well, yeah, no, I mean, listen, I do still think Fire Island 2 Provincetown is a funny title, but
I mean, there was that summer we were workshopping a lot of ideas about how to reintroduce Zane.
Zane's character, yeah.
I also had an idea that me and Tomas's podcast exploded and we were rich. And so that Dex was kind of a grifter and dating me for my money, my huge podcast empire money.
I can't remember whose idea it was that we just cast him as a different character and we're like, doesn't he look like every gay guy?
but Wickham remains in the story.
That Zane Phillips looks like every gay guy is crazy.
No, he certainly does not.
He certainly doesn't.
Sweetheart, sweetie, gonna be well, no, I should.
Yeah, but there's gonna be a little reunion coming up.
There's we might be working together again.
I saw the other night. I love him.
He's such good energy. So funny, so nice, and it's so annoying. It's so annoying to look like that and to be smart and charming and nice.
Yeah,
and truly
sensitive
a kind
boy.
creature,
Creature.
reader, a not capital R reader.
Reader of literature.
He was always reading on set. He was always. I remember my image
eating
of Zane.
Chicken breast and reading.
My image of Zane will always be. I would come out of my trailer and we would have like this like bench area where we would always sit, and he would be eating his chicken, drinking a hot coffee, and doing the crossword.
Yeah.
And that was always his thing.
And that's who he is on the inside. Ignore what you're seeing on the outside, honey, because that is not him.
That's not him.
That is not him.
It gets easier when you're around him a long time.
No, it does. I will say though, like it is genuinely like I remember filming our meet cute moment in the movie and being humiliated.
It's so scary.
It's like what? And what will happen now that he's in LA? This has happened 3 or 4 times. It is so infuriating. We'll be at one of these like stupid gay parties, and some guy will like come up. And we'll be standing in a clump next to Zane, and he'll introduce himself, and I'll be like, "Hi, I'm Joel," and like he'll go around the line and get to Zane, and be like, "Oh my God, you're the guy from Fire Island."
No!
And I'm like standing there, paid fucking dust, and I I was like, I fucking made you, and I will end you too, Zane. Now,
brought you into this world.
Yeah.
Wait, let's just speak on this. Because I experienced this recently of getting the nerves when you're acting with a hot person.
Oh.
Not that it happens all the time, but certain people really fuck your shit up where I was like, when John Hamm was hosting SNL, I was just like, huh. Like we were playing a couple and I was just like, wait, I'm scared. Like this is like this like I'm this is and there's no reason to feel nervous around him. Just such a wonderful person. But I was just like, wait, but you're so. First of all, you're Don Draper. Second of all, you're so handsome. Third of all, you're so funny. Like just so many wonderful things about that man. And sometimes it knocks me off my center.
For me, I was just, and like, trust me, I've seen what people have said about it. Like, of course, this guy cast this guy to be like, to make out with.
Whatever.
But like, no, you do take yourself out of it a little bit. And suddenly those little, your inner saboteur comes knocking and you're like, what are people going to say when they see this?
Right.
But
it's not even that. It's just like, there's something in the space of acting with someone where you're just like,
I mean, I genuinely felt that way. The reason we cast Conrad is because Conrad made me forget my lines in our chemistry read together. I was so flustered because he is such a vibe. Yeah. Like, I mean, a hot man, like on paper, just physically pictures, yes, it reads, he's very hot. But then you get with him and like that close to him, and it's just like, the nerves are like, it's crazy because he is
Yep.
so charismatic and such a vibe, and like
Gravitational field
Yes.
is distorted.
he's great. Want nothing for the best for all of you except for one person.
Is
And
it
I
me?
won't say who. I won't say who.
Damn.
No, it wasn't you.
Is this real?
No.
Like, maybe no.
No.
I was like,
love
but
you all.
no, we all love.
Everyone's family.
Everyone's family.
That chain stays
Yeah,
living.
the chain is alive for birthdays. The
Yeah.
chain is alive for when someone
Runs into
does
someone.
something exciting.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
pictures.
true.
I will say, so we were briefly evacuated during the LA fires, and my John Michael was like, we should, the night before, and I live in an area that is normally not affected by fires at all. And he was like, we should pack go bags. And I was like, okay, like thinking this is never going to affect me. I don't need to do this. So I just packed a go bag with my passport and my social security card, which apparently is not enough.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Does that move the needle?
No. And nothing else. And then the next day I drive to San Diego for a gig and I get the evacuation notice and he said, don't worry, babe. I grabbed your go bag before we went. And I went, but did you look inside of it? And he said, no, why would I need to? And of course, this is an impasse that you get to with your partner where you're like, I'm mad at you, but I know I have no standing. Legally in a court of law, I have no standing. You told me to pack the bag. I did not pack any underwear, toiletries, or anything in the bag.
So he just grabbed an empty bag.
And he just grabbed the empty bag. But what he did decide in the moment of panic to grab was the GLAAD Award and the Gotham Award. From my
God.
the cutest thing, because
So
he was
sweet.
he was like I don't know, I just thought like maybe you might want these, like if something happened to the house. And I was like,
This is so funny.
but not any underwear or toothpaste. Absurd, but like we do sit at home alone and play the Newlywed game just to practice because
Just to practice.
That's I get it.
because the real strategy here is it's not about answering what you really feel. It's about answering how you think your partner will answer.
It's a
yes,
mentalism
yes.
game.
It's I was gonna say it's a mentalism.
There was a
game.
mentalist at the screening last night, and he blew my mind. Anyway, we'll keep talking about this.
Oh no, I think we're done.
No, wait.
But
If
no,
you're
I was just gonna say
practicing-
because like he knows that if someone asked what is Joel's favorite movie, obviously that's a ridiculous question
Right.
to ask. Like,
Crazy.
no, who has a like? If you have a favorite movie, I don't think so, honey. Like, grow up. But he
Yeah.
knows the answer is My Best Friend's Wedding.
Yeah,
and I know the
yeah,
answer
yeah.
for him is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So
And so now
Great
when you're
pick.
put in the situation where you have to play the Newlywed game, you
We
know.
know.
Speaking of being a Newlywed, do you have something
Oh
to
yes,
ask?
I think.
Do you have something to ask
Fuck
us?
the culture awards. Here's the real announcement for
Do
the
you
pod.
have something
Here's the
to
real thing.
ask us?
I was not brought on to promote Love Hotel. I was not brought on to promote anything else. I was brought on for this announcement and this announcement alone. After years away, that these two. Let's get tactile. please.
Tactile.
Let's get tactile.
Don't forget me in the circle.
Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers are in my wedding.
Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids.
We're
Oh
so
my god!
excited.
Can we say what we're planning on doing? Not when.
Not when, but
Oh
For the-
yeah,
for the-
yeah,
for the
yeah.
bri- Nola.
Nola.
We're doing joint bachelor parties, separate houses.
so smart.
Oh, is it separate houses?
Separate houses, and then we join together for one night.
Oh,
And
that's-
then-
Got it.
And then the rest of the time, we just get to be, for the last time, with our friends before we never see each other. No,
Before you can never sleep with anyone again.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I'm really excited. You know, we're not finding out what the other person is wearing to the wedding until the day of.
What?
That's beautiful.
It's really cute. And what's happening is my stylist is coordinating
Okay, I
to
was
make
gonna
sure
say.
to make sure that we don't look insane, and then also coordinating with whatever you guys, because it's sort of going to be like free for all. Like you
But
were
Chris is
wearing.
going to tell us
God.
like things.
He will just like I will send you like color palette
Okay,
probably
good.
and
Great.
just like live within that world. But like yeah, I'm not gonna be precious about like everyone wears.
Everyone has to
matching
wear this
Thank
thing.
you,
bullshit.
because my biggest gripe with weddings is there's such a single-use fashion
Right.
aspect
Yeah.
to it. It's like a ward shit. It's like, oh, what do you mean I can only wear this once? You know?
Yeah,
So
that
I'm-
is true.
So thank you so we can like go from our own.
Yeah, you can
closets.
pull from the closet.
What colors are you thinking?
I don't know yet. He wants me to do the mood board because
it's a December wedding.
I kind of want it to be like, well, obviously, like he's gonna probably wear white, and I'll probably wear black because I'm the boy and he's the girl. But I do sort of, and this actually came to mind watching your film, is I would love to reference a traditional
Korean wedding?
wedding
Yeah.
outfit, but like not the full guiche, but like
some embroidery.
but something that is like a reference to that. Because I do want to have that in my wedding, and like but yeah. So that's sort of where I'm at right now,
Great.
and we'll see what. I have no idea what that boy is planning for him. But again,
I will be coming in a traditional hanbok.
Hanbok.
What did I say it wrong?
No, it's you said it great.
No,
Oh,
you said
what
it,
great.
You said it perfectly. You say everything perfectly.
I think I would slay the hanbok.
Yes.
Yeah. Slay the humbug.
Gosh, but Kimchi at the premiere, I got to tell her to her face. I was like, your ball challenge is still
Absolutely.
Your book ball challenge is
Legendary stuff.
still one of the best drag race runways ever.
The premier Slation diva
the
of
premier
LA,
Slation diva.
Kimchi.
Slasian?
The premiere, she's making
I'm
Joella
referencing
joke.
Joella.
I have to say I didn't watch this last season.
We can talk about it. It feels less urgent to watch it
I would agree.
now.
And yet also more in a weird way.
Well, the ratings keep,
Right.
it's feeling more and more distant for me. I mean, I still watch it live
Same.
when I have the chance.
Yep.
But it is like, it does feel less like urgent. Like I used to be like, if I am not there seeing it, like in that moment, like I am offline, I am not, so
Right.
scared of spoilers. And now it just doesn't feel honestly quite as much for us.
Do you want to know
I
why?
agree.
It's because here's what it was for us, and this is why we really loved it. Obviously, the queens were incredible, and they were all like aspirational and older than us and smarter. Like it felt like they were funnier and smarter than us. Not to say the girls aren't giving now, but we're literally older than everyone
We're
on the
watching the
show
kids.
now.
Yeah.
And also another thing is we were watching it at a time when it was very community building for us.
Yes.
You know
Monday
what I mean?
nights
Like
at a gay bar. We got older, and the show is just, unfortunately, like I'm really excited for people to discover the show in the later seasons, because unfortunately I think what has happened is that you see these queens and they're all very talented, and this is not to take away, but it has become sort of like, oh, that's Jinx.
Yeah.
That's just new Jinx, and
Yeah.
that's just new her, and that's like giving Simone, and that's why Simone actually is my favorite of the new recent
newer batch of
winners.
winners.
I would
Because
agree.
Simone feels like she created a new archetype
Yes.
for herself, and I don't know that any of the other recent winners have quite done that in quite a
Sure.
distinct way. They're all wonderful. I love them. Huge Nympia fan, huge Willow fan. Like
Yeah.
all of
Sasha
them. Like all of
Colby,
them.
yeah.
But like Sasha
Absolutely.
Colby, amazing. But and that's not to take away from that. But like, let's be honest. When we went to DragCon, Drag Race is for, and this is not a pejorative.
no.
Drag Race is for Katie's now.
It's
Not
It's
a
for
pejorative
kids.
at all.
I thought you were gonna say kids.
No.
But I will say, like, it did become like it. I was really. It was interesting because now I'm like, now with everything changing again, I'm like, because I remember we were at the DragCon promoting Fire Island, and there were so many children,
Yeah.
and now it's like they're really trying to divorce drag and queer identity at all from like exposure to kids or
Yeah.
whatever, and I'm like, how could you not say this is a positive thing? Even if me, as like a true faggot who like misses when there was lube commercials on Logo watching Drag Race, I do miss that like rawness of it and the aspirational quality of what they were doing in terms of like, I'm entering into the queer community and learning so much about this. I still was there, and I'm like, you know what? These kids are empowered to be anything they want to be.
Yeah.
And there was nothing weird about it. There was nothing
Yeah.
ugly about it. There was nothing sexual about it, which is what they're trying to like make it all seem like it's like a grooming
Grooming,
center. And it's like, it was nothing to do with that. It was only empowering. Even if I felt like, oh, it's for kids now and straight people now, it still felt like we won in the fact that like this is mainstream culture.
And to say like it's not urgent watching for like the three of us is not to say that it's not an urgently, like no one is happier that Trump won than RuPaul Charles, okay? Because it has made the show so important, so important. Again, and
Ingest.
allegedly, but it is sort of like it does feel like, it feels so like I don't want to talk about the state of the world really on this. Let's keep it light. But like, it does make the show. You watch these shows, and we're so desensitized to it because we've
been lucky to have seen it,
lived it, and
it.
exactly.
Ooh.
But like, you know, it's exciting that this continues to skyrocket and will continue to be an outlet for these kids. But the other thing that makes it hard to watch sometimes is that it drastically altered the landscape of what drag in the real world looks like. And it created an entire cottage industry that did not exist before.
Right.
That did not exist for drag queens before. The model of what a working drag queen now looks like is so different from what it looked like back, you know, even 10 to 15 years ago.
But that's even changed back in the last couple of years as like spaces close, as like laws start getting put into place.
The show is very important, and I have enjoyed the hell out of this season. Actually, like I just remember Alyssa and Tatiana lip syncing and watching that live in a gay bar, like, and the people reacting, like you could just, it was so utter joy, like, you know, and like I enjoy getting together with my friends and watching it. It is a very nice communal Friday ritual, but it just like, I feel 10,000 years old.
Totally. I mean, it's the reason why like Survivor's development cycle and it's the way that has aged over time is.
Well, they're facing a very similar problem in that the contestants now are so aware of the meta of the world outside of. They're so concerned about what the narrative is going to be, and they know the game so well that they. And actually, all credit to queens like Corey King, who said in an interview, she worded everything in those confessionals so that they would have to use her. She was like, I know the real winner of this show now is who wins the confessional queen of the season. And to be honest, Corey was like 4th or 5th out, but one of the most memorable queens the season, and has had such a, like, I think was number 1 on Cameo for a while, afterwards, and has like become like sort of like the winner of the season in a lot of ways.
Well.
Yeah. She's and she knew going in how to do that. And all credit to her, all like love and power to her, but it is also like, it makes it less
about the show.
I don't know. It's just like, it's like a different game than it was when you know, Jinx won.
Yeah.
What I was going to say about Survivor though is that like that can age in a way that like is somewhat linear, like more people like discover the show and retroactively get into it, but it's like no one was ever really going to bars to like meet up with their friends to watch Survivor necessarily.
Which is weird because you know what?
Now they are.
Actually, they are. We can even go to Try Tops tonight to watch it. They have a great watch party that they do every week. But
I'm saying like with Drag Race starting out like that, and now with that dissipating as people get older, as people don't go out as much with COVID, whatever. Like all these reasons, it's like it has lost some of that binding agent, and that's not the show's fault.
No.
But Survivor is funny because like Survivor is huge with nerds and gays.
Yeah.
Nerds and gays, and that is who is reflected in the casting too.
Yeah.
And gay nerds. Like, and sometimes I get lost watching it because these people know the game so well.
It's so crazy
that they have to throw 8 million twists into every episode, and if you don't watch it with your full brain, you miss a lot of it.
It can't be ambient.
No,
TV. Drag Race can be ambient, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, the way I will put on, I've watched certain seasons of Drag Race like dozens of times probably at this point because it is just like
season 8, season 9, season 10.
It's just
those
on.
go
It's just
down.
on.
Put it on.
You know, like the All-Star season's also really exciting. I mean, really excited about this insane Survivor-esque All-Star season that's about to come out.
Wait, what is that?
I'm not sure. I'm
Drag
not sure
Race?
of Drag Race. I'm not sure how much has been announced, but it's
Okay.
18 queens, and I will say that the format, from what I have read, the scuttle online is that the format might mirror a certain other reality.
Okay. Did you see Bob the Drag Queen was like All Stars is for losers?
Damn.
Yeah, Bob the Drag Queen.
But like Bob is one of the few winners who could, or queens from that franchise who can get away with saying that, and like you're sort of like, yeah, okay.
But you know what though? All Stars is for losers. Like is something a drag queen should be saying.
Yes,
Totally.
And Bob is like one of the last winners who will say like,
whatever the fuck,
whatever the fuck on that podcast, you know? Because I just had a realization moment getting off Twitter, and like part of it was the reason I got off Twitter was I was hacked by the Russians and I was away from my account for 4 days. I had to pay a lot of money to a lawyer to get in contact with Twitter to get my account back, and then I deleted it immediately because I kept a little note of all the things I would tweet if I had access to my account, and then I read it back after 4 days, and I said, none of this is useful. None of this is edifying.
No.
None of this is
That's
worthwhile
incredible
posting.
that you did this.
I was like, I don't need to say this about Ashley Tisdale. Like, why would I say
Yeah.
this? Why would
She
I say
did
this?
nothing.
She's done nothing. She's an innocent person.
Yeah.
And I now have, like, it's just like your perspective really does shift. Like,
Yep.
it's so crazy. Like, I am not,
mind-altering, yeah.
I am not in the, I try not to be in the comments after years of doing this. We all struggle with this. I know.
Yes.
But because the thing is I know all 6 reasons why people hate me now.
Yeah.
And no one
Me
says it.
too.
No one says anything new
my
or
God.
different.
Yeah.
It's all in the same 6 buckets.
You're
of
actually right.
reasons
Like,
why.
there is between. It's a short list.
It's a short,
and it's like
God bless it. It's
no
short.
one says anything
Consistent.
new. I'm like, there's no new reasons to hate me yet, except the new strain that I am seeing on some of my videos that come out, like on podcasts such as this, is people being like, his work looks crazy. Why is he getting all this plastic
have
surgery?
not gotten
He needs to
work.
fire
You
himself.
haven't gotten
I haven't
any
even
work.
gotten Botox yet, bitch. Okay, I'm pushing 40 with rosacea. All right, like
You will let people
about
know.
my face is giving filler? That one is, I guess, the 7th bucket now. Is that I've been seeing that like happen, and I'm sort of like, huh.
I
Why
guess
do you
that's
think
that's
that
a
is?
function. That's a function of time. I think.
I don't know. I think it's this weird. I think it's a weird. It feels like counterintuitive. Like it doesn't feel like these both can be true. But I think it's because I both look older, but don't look as old as I look, and that those two things combined have caused people
They're like, what
to
is it?
confuse people.
Yeah.
Because I do look very much the same as I did 10 years ago. But like slightly different, and so I think
it's, and I'm gonna say this not as like, I'm just saying that it's like the hair probably. It throws, there's one thing about framing the face that throws people off, and they're like, well, he's gotten work done. It's literally the hair
Yeah.
growing out and getting permed. It looks amazing.
Could be.
Thank
yeah.
you. I wanted to come in here and talk about like fucking White Lotus, and I'm like, oh, that's a distant fucking memory.
But you know
by
what?
memory.
Talk about White Lotus.
You know, I do want to talk about White Lotus a little bit and say I think that my take on season 3 is that it is a lot of really captivating, wonderful moments that did not coalesce into.
So you were not ultimately a fan
that-
of the season.
I enjoyed my experience on a Sunday to Sunday basis of watching each of those episodes. But did I come away thinking like that it all came together at the end, like as like something meaningful? I don't know that I can say that. Like I really thought it was high quality performances, really on an episode to episode basis, very good writing and great moments. But the only thing I'm going to take away from that finale is Carrie Coon's monologue.
Yeah.
That's
The only thing?
I think so.
See, I'm a huge fan of season 3. Like, I loved pretty much every single thing about it. And I feel like the Walton Goggins and Amy Lou Wood storyline, like, to me, it was also so personally gratifying, because I was like, I was watching it and I sat there and I was like, you can't save broken people. They have to save themselves. They have to work on themselves. It doesn't matter how much you love them.
The reason I think I will remember Carrie Coon's monologue and you will
Right.
remember that is because that is so what
Real.
you have lived and like a lesson you have learned in your own life.
What do you mean, like that?
That
Amy
you
Lou
can't
Wood
fix
thing?
broken people.
Yes, right.
You know, like that is a lesson that you have learned the hard way in many ways.
And you've connected with the Carrie Coon monologue.
And the Carrie Coon monologue where she says like she has, and listen, I do not think that we are as toxic as those 3 women were ultimately.
Thinking about us as them.
No, but I did have this moment because like we talked about, like, let's get raw and real again as sisters. When I asked you to be in my wedding party, like we are dear, like besties down, and we will. And I asked you to be in my wedding party because I know you will be in my life for the rest of my goddamn life. But we're also fucking busy. Yeah. You live in 2 different cities practically most of the time. You are the busiest man in Hollywood. I'm very busy. Like we don't get to do these things, and like it's so funny when people talk about like why I haven't been back on the podcast.
Right.
Recently.
They assume that there's always beef.
They assume it's beef, but it's honestly because like when we do get to hang out, we don't want to do this.
Right.
Like, we only get so much time to see each other. We don't want to come in and do this when we do it. But when I asked you to be at my wedding party, I said I know that like we aren't seeing each other like every week like we used to, and we aren't like, you know, able to go on like all the trips that we used to go on and all these things. But like when I think about the people in my life that matter to me, it's not necessarily like maybe the people that come to my house every Friday for a drag race.
Right.
It's you guys. And like that monologue really resonated with me because it really does have meaning. And like I think that is like, for me, it's like being in a relationship and like getting older, like both of those things combined, like you recognize that, because you really do have to be intentional about maintaining friendships when you are in a relationship. Like, and it's so hard to do, because I am living and about to marry my best friend, you know? And so like, I think like a lot of the things I used to like need from friendships are being provided, but like, it's a trick. It's a trick. It's a trick though, because like we've also like been like, we need to hang out with our friends without each other too. Like like we don't have to do everything together.
Does that happen more?
And it has happened more. Yeah. Like I like we like I was just talking to Jared the other day, who shout out, I'll announce Jared's also in the wedding. But like I was like, he was like, you and James should come over, and I was like, or I could just come over. Actually, because that might be nice to just
it is interesting. It's like, because it's all about like all of a sudden, because life does go by quick.
Yeah,
and then I feel like what was so great about that episode and the arc that the three of them are going through was they will leave that vacation and they'll probably remember two things: the traumatic shooting that they survived, and the fact that they were able to have a great last dinner. And they won't even remember Valentine. They won't remember the bitchy little comments. They won't remember that one of them was a little bit more drunk. They'll remember like this piece of it, and they'll remember how their relationship like got better and now has this like memorable like trauma bond moment again. And that's like when life goes by like that. And then she's saying, like, you look at your choices. It's because it's the people that have been there for a really long time that you can see in different stages of your life. And then you can say, wow, like, I have made choices to be this person who I'm sitting here right now. And now I'm sitting with two other people who are also have gone through the same amount of time and the same amount of development, but in a different way. Like, here you are about to get married. You know what I mean? Like, you have a certain type of career, which is like, you know, keeps you busy and is in the stratosphere all the time. And sometimes like, you know, I would imagine that like, that doesn't, and you would think like maybe like a third person in that would look at both those things and be like, I'm the Carrie Coon. But we all at a certain
Carrie
point
Coon.
are feeling like the Carrie Coon.
Yeah. No,
you know what I mean?
And Leslie Bibb.
Yeah. We all
and
are,
Michelle.
it's
No,
not like
you're Michelle. I'm Leslie, and you're Carrie.
Well, I mean,
You're Leslie. No, you're Leslie?
No.
I don't. Well,
Yeah,
like
he's
because
getting
I'm getting
married.
married.
You're getting married.
I've now switched to. I
I'm
think
Michelle.
And you spend the most time in Austin.
Yeah, that's true. And I smile.
Yeah.
And you would rock a cunty.
Yeah.
And you're an independent. You probably are the closest to independent. He certainly hates the Democrats the most.
Yes,
Oh my God,
yes.
that's the headline now.
Joel Caboose
Hates the Democrats.
No, but I mean, like it was actually, I can't remember the last time I spontaneously burst out in tears.
No, it's a beautiful
I
moment.
actually can. It was when Kiwa Kwan was in Everything Ever All at Once when he was saying, you have to be kind, like, please be kind. I like spontaneously burst out in tears, but I was watching Carrie Coon give that monologue and I burst into tears because I was just like, it's true. As you get older, like it's not about like, what haven't I done or what don't I have? It's like very hard to get to a point where you're like, you know, the things I've done are enough. Like I've tried, you know, to develop myself. Like it's gone this way in a positive way, this way in a negative way, whatever. It all comes out in the wash anyway when you're still here.
Mm-hmm.
My mirror this season is thinking, "He is your father!" What does Street de la say at the end? He told me! I love Street de la.
No, I mean, when we got to see a little bite of her as a young performer,
which was real footage.
Iconic. I mean, also like the thing about him being the dad, though, I was like, I said that the minute he said the story that his mom told him to Amy Lou, I was like, oh well, that guy is going to be your
That's
dad.
the dad.
Like, and they cast him very well.
I
too.
will say that part I was like, this we did see coming from a mile away, and you know what I think would have even been a better reveal,
a monkey with a gun.
because
We
here
all want a monkey with a gun.
here's what I was thinking the whole time. how did Walton Goggins' character afford that vacation? What if it was revealed like he's been a trust fund baby his entire life, and actually he isn't this badass? He's just like this like sort of spoiled like straight guy who's like the kind of guy who's like, I'm gonna wear like a funky scarf.
I've been worried about a lot of the shit that I've said on this podcast so far, but this is like I don't really care. But like this is why he needs a writer's room, because this is one of my biggest problems with the Walter Goggins storyline is I don't know who that man is. I do not know who that man is.
And I think we could have gotten to a very funny thing, which is, where the fuck did you think you gotten all your money from? Like, your dad is the owner of this hotel.
Put it up on the board.
Like,
put it up on the board.
It needs to be an index card.
Because literally, how did that couple afford that vacation?
And that's the thing is like, it's not super important, but it would have been nice to know.
But you know what? Justification always makes things better. I feel like that is true in writing. Like, justifications always make jokes funnier if you can get there, and justification always makes, like, if you can strengthen it, I think it's always better to include it.
That's why I think, like, for me too, like, it's like, the fact that like the first two seasons were what they were, and even the third season was as strong as it was, is a miracle that he did this by himself, that he has that in him to do by himself. Because but I think like the seams that we're now seeing and the disconnect that we're feeling with the third season is because like I don't think that one man can continue to play with the same ideas over and over and over again and create something that is like that is going to feel as meaningful as the first time.
Yes, there are limits to auteurship.
Yeah,
that we need to come to grips with.
I don't disagree that
because he's not reinventing the show every season. He's not.
No. Well, I actually kind of like that about it, though. I kind of like that the formula. Like, the formula for me like really works, and I do think that there's been drastically different like things that have been said by all three of the seasons. I will say though, just out of principle, there should be a writer's room on a show like that.
That's what we're saying.
Just out of principle, because it is one of the last ways that you can like apprentice great writers and like, you know what I mean? Like, get people started in the industry. And this has nothing to do with how talented and how brilliant I think he is, because ultimately, let's be real, all creators and showrunners rewrite all these episodes anyway.
Right. Honestly, that would be a huge win for the entire community.
Let's give the monkey the gun.
Can I say I've hated from the beginning Monkey has the gun. I still hate it.
I was a big advocate.
Y'all are laughing. Beginning. I'm not laughing. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's funny to think about the monkey with the gun at all.
I just didn't think it was going to be as straightforward as it was.
It was pretty straightforward.
See, but for me, it's just like when I saw Amy Lou Wood unable to run away from the toxic man it was gonna end badly for her. I was like, I've been her.
Totally.
And this is an important story.
No, those are y'all's mirrors for sure.
Yes.
And you are a famous actress Asian actress who
married a wealthy white.
That wasn't really your mirror, though.
No.
What was your actual mirror?
I was gonna say my mirror was. I don't know. Is that bad?
It's also fine to not have a mirror in the season.
Well, let's see. I am gonna say. I'm still thinking about Aubrey in season 2.
Yeah,
and see that.
But that's not an answer to the question. I probably don't have one.
I mean, but that just goes to show there's different things being reflected in each of the seasons. I think that her character was fascinating. You know, I've been pressuring my therapist into watching White Lotus because she's never watched it, and I went in today and she's like, I'm halfway through season 2. I fucking love it.
Oh, good.
She was like, season 1 was amazing. I'm like, it was. Yeah. Like, put some respect on season 1's name.
1's great.
No, 1 is great. Well, and that, can I just say, I don't want to beat up Mike White too much because, again, I love his work. Enlightened is one of my favorite shows of all time.
He's brilliant. You know, we can talk about all this stuff because he's brilliant.
Yeah, because he's brilliant. But like, there was very little like with the staff this season.
Yeah,
this was the least amount of story impactful story that we got about the staff this season.
Well, I mean,
what was the storyline for the manager, the security guard, Lisa?
Can I say the thing with Lisa? I think the reason why the Lisa thing feels weird is because they did not even expect anywhere near a star at her level to want that part. And when she wanted that part, I think part of his hesitance was like, but the character is not consequential enough to justify her. But then she was so good and really wanted to do it. What are they going to do? Say no?
her acting is so grounded. She's
great.
Wonderful.
She just and ultimately, I remember we were all like, and there's gonna be something with Lisa because there has to be.
Why would you cast Beyonce in
Right.
a show
Right.
and not have her be like a centerpiece of the finale?
And I think that probably was something that was on his mind during casting. It's like, well, should the role be more? I don't want to just make it more and change the whole thing because it's her. But if she wants to do it and she's good enough,
Did you find any mirrors in the family? Are you a Lachlan at all?
I might be a Piper. I might as someone
that's interesting.
Someone who wants to like individualize and then realizes that like they are not going to go to such lengths to like they have found themselves in the act of trying to find themselves in a different way.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
they swing back the other direction, being like, this is not who I
And
am.
you also would rather die than be poor.
Exactly.
I loved her storyline as well. Like
Yes,
just and
me
when
too.
she was giving that monologue about like, she was great, by the way. Sarah Catherine
good.
Hook.
Great vibes. She was my interview on Today's Show when I co-hosted.
Oh, really?
She's such a cute vibe.
Yeah, she's adorable and
And-
she's talented.
And a trained opera singer.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah, at SUNY Purchase. Anyway.
Let's touch on Housewives. I want to pitch my Housewives spinoff.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Okay.
We'll start there. We'll start there and we'll go granular.
Here's the show, and this is literally, I am almost like, consider this a pitch. Bravo. We're now in business.
Okay.
And he's listening.
Kyle goes to Aspen. Kyle starts her life over as a lesbian of the woods. Kyle of the woods. The poster for the show is Kyle in her huge kimosabi hat, looking at the camera in the back. The woods. Kyle starts over as a lover of same sex in Aspen, where she wants to live. I'm sorry. She
Yeah.
leaves Beverly Hills. We start the show over. It's her. It's maybe a couple of her friends that come in. It's more like people visit from Beverly Hills to come see her,
Like
come
Pee-wee's
in and
Playhouse.
out. And we see Kyle's new life in Aspen as a queer woman.
Go.
I will say my only adjustment, if I'm the executive sitting across the table, is I would say we already have a winter landscape. And that is doing quite well. So
You know what?
I would maybe suggest, if you want woods, maybe Pacific Northwest.
I was gonna
Maybe-
say that.
But Aspen
maybe
is where
Seattle.
she wants to live.
Maybe Seattle.
And also, I would say the fact that Salt Lake City works is a reason to do it.
Interesting.
Or how about this? Kyle of the mountains. Kyle of the woods, like JT tried to be.
I like Kyle of the Woods.
I like Kyle of the Woods. Is this
Kyle of the Woods sounds like a dangerous plant you shouldn't eat.
Oh, honey, that's Kyle of the Woods.
Oh, that's Kyle of the woods.
Don't touch
Get that
that.
Kyle out of your mouth.
Is this modeled? Because I'm not watching the Denise show. Is this kind of like the Denise show?
Oh,
I like the
I've
Denise
dipped
show,
into
by
the
the
Denise
way.
show. I've
I
dipped
hear
in.
it's
The
great.
Denise show is the way that they live their life is so crazy. But yeah, I guess it is. I mean, it maybe doesn't have to be an ongoing thing. I just think maybe like 8 episodes of Kyle living in Aspen, like exploring this new part of her personality. Because I don't think, this is my kind of hot take about Beverly Hills. It's not there yet for a reboot, but I don't think we're far away.
Right.
I don't think we're far away at all.
It's getting the self production on Beverly Hills, I think, is the worst of any of the franchises.
Yeah, they're also afraid to say or do anything.
Yeah. And it's so, like, I really, like, talk about something that didn't coalesce into anything. at the end.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so sorry, Mike White. I meant to say that. Take that note away from White Lotus. Apply it to Beverly Hills.
Yes.
Because by the end of that reunion, I was exhausted and I wanted to walk out like Garcelle.
Also, like Sutton going to Garcelle's room and Garcelle not being there and just being like, she's gone. And like that being the way that their friendship ended. Like, well, I don't know. How do you guys feel about the Garcelle of it all?
I didn't watch the third part.
I will say I'm only halfway through the third part. And again, didn't feel urgent to finish in the same way that some of these other shows are right now. I think that, and I just actually presented an award with Garcelle, met her in real life, so warm, so kind.
She's been on the show.
a
She's great.
star. I don't think she has it in her to be a housewife.
I don't think she ever liked it.
I don't think, like, because when the guns were pointed in her direction,
couldn't
finally,
handle it.
it's not. I don't even think that she couldn't handle it. It's she didn't want to do
Yeah,
it. Like
right.
she didn't. Like she doesn't want to do that.
Yeah.
She went a really long time, I guess 5 seasons, without ever being the person in the hot seat.
Yeah. But and like
Ever.
kind of far down on the couch always.
And also, not for nothing, but for something that I knew when she was saying in the beginning of the season that she was positing the theory that the Dorit robbery was staged, I'm like, you're gonna have to deal with saying
Stand by that. You will have to stand by that.
And then she did, but she hated that they had a problem with it.
Right.
And it's like, well, of course they're gonna have a problem with it. Like, and then you can't walk your way out of the insinuation you're making. You're very baldly making the insinuation.
And lots of people did. And
Sure.
and so like stand 10 toes down. Like, you know, but like I just don't know that she thinks in that way. She has, and clearly doesn't need it in the same way. And that's,
Not
I think, the
anymore.
difference. That's the difference, is that I think like she was working really hard at the beginning, maybe because like it did kind of reignite a lot of things for her.
Yes.
But all those other women, I mean, the reason Dorit is showing up right now,
Yeah, 'cause this
and
is her
like
job.
love or hate, is because she needs the check.
Yes.
And Garcelle, one thing you could say about her right now is she's leaving not needing the check. She is making Lifetime movies. Good for fucking her.
Yeah.
You know, like she's getting, you know, but like she doesn't need it. And I think like you could feel that. And I want them hungry and desperate and needing it.
Right. I mean, Sutton, unwatchable. Kyle, as we know my feelings on Kyle. Erica, home makeover.
The
arc.
fact that Erica came for Garcelle for not being interesting, and Erica's one storyline this season was redoing her fucking living room. I'm sorry.
I liked Bose. I mean, I thought that Bose like definitely livened things up.
I think she's gonna be a major player for a while. You know, I don't know. It just felt icky. By the end.
I don't believe that they're friends.
And the Kathy sort of runway moment, I was like, that is.
Oh, yeah,
the
you'd
most
really
staged
like that.
thing.
We've really let we've unfortunately, I think we've fed the goose too much.
Yes.
With Kathy.
The future of the entire Housewives empire lies in one woman and one woman alone, and that woman's name is Stacey Rush. But still, I
Wait,
rise.
can we go back? Can we go back for a second? I believe that the relationship was not real, but I do believe that what she said to him was, "This will be really good for you." Like and your business. And then he extrapolated from there that she was paying him to be on the show.
Agree.
You're gonna trust him over her? He's clearly unhinged.
We've seen him on the show. Like it is to take his word for anything is actually quite ridiculous.
Exactly. I believe Stacey more than
Yes.
TJ.
I believe that she's not telling the full story.
But that's okay. She's allowed to withhold.
I think that Bowen has some like.
I love her.
He's got love blinders on.
I've got tit blinders on. She's got the most amazing.
You are famously a boob guy.
Boob gay.
Her boobs are perfect.
When you were saying the future of the franchise, I really thought you were going to say one word and one word alone, and that is Shamia. I mean,
Shamia
I
is
need
so
to start
great.
Atlanta. I need to start Atlanta.
you haven't started it
I
yet?
haven't started the season.
Oh, Atlanta's really good. So Atlanta has been so Kenya Moore just
Exited
ended herself.
Yeah.
And it's been really, I think it's been a really, really compelling
the
season overall.
soft reboot really works. And the thing is,
Portia's great on the show.
Portia
again.
is great on the show,
Yeah.
and I worry. I don't want to see a schism between her and Shamia, and I fear that
Oh, it's
that is
happening.
the direction.
It's like
that
it's like
going
definitely
in.
happening.
But like Shamia starts the season, like she is the center. She's in the center with
Yes.
Portia.
No,
Yes.
Shamia
and
is
she's a
the star,
revolution.
and I
She's
didn't know
so
she
great.
had it like
no,
that.
and what I have since learned is that they have been that Bravo has known all along. That she has got the juice in that peach.
I was like-
but her husband wouldn't let her be more than a friend of until now. Because I think he did not understand how powerful the show was until now.
I honestly, it really is surprising because the first scenes of the first episode are all Shamia's amazing home. Like you
She
see,
starts the season.
she's multi-talented. She's got like this very full family, this big full life. Like, and it's just she's obviously great on camera. She gets it.
charming.
It's like the way that they
Started fights, but ended them at the right time.
yeah, she gives
like,
sound bites. She's beautiful. She got fashion,
Real
and she's
money.
very connected to everyone already.
Yeah.
It's like it's so surprising that they tried this with Marlo before Shamia, but I guess Shamia had like an extenuating circumstance.
Yeah. Because I love it. Portia's doing great. Love Angela. Love Kelly.
Yeah, I like Kelly a lot.
And again, like the thing is that like Kenya really, it's so frustrating because Brit is not for the show, you know.
I don't know. I can't. I agree with you.
The thing is like the threatening her with a gun is crazy.
Yeah,
and like if we didn't know what was
violence.
if we didn't know what was coming with Kenya, the entire audience would have been
like
behind Kenya.
Yeah.
Would have been behind Kenya. But then Kenya takes it to such an extreme level that is unforgivable and you just can't get past it.
It's also it's like the look in her eyes when she was doing it. I was like, oh no, you got to deal with stuff.
No,
like this is so many other dark things.
And can I say too, like the big difference between a lot of what Kenya did and say like, for instance, Portia physically assaulting Kenya at the reunion and still coming back and still being on the show, is that with Portia, that was like a heat of the moment, in the moment thing that she immediate remorse.
Yeah.
It was not a premeditated.
Kenya's thing was fully. She had to go to fucking Kinko's.
Yeah.
And print revenge porn.
She went out of her way. Well, okay, so we should also say it is not revenge porn because it was not private.
Not legally speaking.
Yes.
But
we should be
legally. But it was porn that was being used
for shame
and revenge.
Yes, but I want to protect us legally.
Yeah.
I'm Sonny Hostin.
Yeah.
I have a legal note.
Kenya would sue Las Culturistas.
I don't put anything past anyone.
Yeah, you're right.
It's true. Because
do you put things past people?
No, never.
You've never been one to suffer fools.
I don't put anything past y'all.
That's your Housewives tagline. I don't put anything past anyone except I don't know.
This is mine. I don't suffer fools, but I do suffer joint pain. Not suffer from. Suffer joint pain.
Here's mine. I'm back on the East Coast and I'm doing the most.
Oh, that's actually pretty
slant rhyme.
Yeah.
Okay. East and the, kind of rhyming those words.
Go ahead.
I don't know, because I have my go-to one, but I don't want to do that one. I do want to do a new one, and it's like I'm from Chicago, so I know how to ride the Brown line. You know, like something.
Oh my God!
Riding the Brown line as a euphemism for gay sex.
But
riding the Brown line is title of that, unfortunately.
I'm a powerful woman in this scenario, so you don't know what it means,
right?
It means you're a powerful woman taking it in the butt.
But what if? Never mind. Yeah, we'll leave it at Brown line.
Riding the Brown line can mean topping. It is verse vocabulary.
Yeah,
for sure.
Bowen would know. You know, he's coming out as all sorts of things. Bisexual.
No, I'm saying that
he's bisexual. He thinks
I'm Kinsey 5, maybe 4.5, but Matt is kind of twisting that into thinking that I'm a top, which I never have identified.
I think it would be fabulous for you to try it.
Have
you ever topped?
I've topped.
You have.
I just don't wear that as an identity in a way that I think is meaningful.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
He doesn't watch gay porn and see a mirror of himself in the top.
No, it's always the bottom.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. Although I'm back in the game, back on the case.
By the way, still getting subscribers to
It's an iconic podcast.
Matt and Joel Search for the Next Elle Woods.
Really?
Still, I get notifications every now and then. It is still available on Patreon.
Is it actually?
It is still available on Patreon.
Matt
For
Joel
free.
and the Search for the Next Elle Woods.
I forgot until I just was listening to it the other day that Patty Harrison herself wrote the
Did
theme
the
song.
whole theme song.
Thank God for COVID. There's the headline.
Wait,
There's the
I have a
pull quote.
question.
Thank God for COVID that Patty had nothing to do and we had nothing to do better than to make this podcast. And Patty was free enough, and the only time she'll ever be free again, to write the theme song for our podcast.
Wait, so if we're still getting subscribers, does that mean people are still paying?
I made it free.
Oh, you made it free.
Yeah, now it's free.
Oh, okay, because I was gonna say, I was like,
No.
The big scandal would be that we've accrued like thousands of dollars that we said was going to charity. It's now free.
Yeah.
So okay, well, that's good for everyone.
Cousin of the Week's still one of the great podcast segments. Of all
Cousin of the Week was good. Okay, let's do Cousin of the Week.
We still reference it.
in general.
Cousin of the Week was a segment on
Matt and Joel on the Search for the Next Elle
Matt and
Woods.
Joel on the Search for the Next Elle was where we said which of the girls was
giving
cousin of the week, who was giving the most cousin energy.
I have one.
Who's your cousin of the week?
And again, this is all going to be dated, but my cousin of the week is congratulations on your opening sister, Haley Steinfeld.
Yes! She's cousin of the week.
She is cousin of the week because of that flame dress.
Yeah.
And we won't say why.
Yeah.
But that dress is cousin energy.
This is a Haley Steinfeld stan podcast.
queen of
I
pop.
believe she's the queen of pop.
The queen of pop.
I do need her to release more music in capital letters. I will jam. First of all, don't even get me started on "You Want to Go Higher," which is that song. But also, there's what's the Hell Knows and Headphones.
Yeah,
I love that.
Where she's at the party slut shaming people. I love that.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
She did a song for the Bumblebee movie, the Transformers spin-off Bumblebee, called
Which
Back
is
to Life.
actually excellent.
Really? I need to see
Yeah, it's like
Bumblebee is excellent.
Listen,
Local
watch
number
it.
18.
Wa-
Bumblebee is excellent.
Watch it on a plane and you'll get your life.
Love it.
Okay.
It's small. It's a character piece.
Yeah.
And Haley carries. Always does.
God.
All right.
Yeah.
My cousin of the week is Megan Fahey in Drop. She
can't wait.
because now my cousins have kids and they love their kids so much. And Megan Fahey in Drop was so determined to save her child.
Oh.
And if you haven't
And you
seen
love to
Drop,
see
it's
that.
really, really good.
Wow.
No, you would love it.
Oh, I know.
Do you want to know why? It's because it's just like Red Eye.
Oh, that is someone else said that to me today. Who
It's
saw it.
really fun. Jeffree Star is great in it. Megan's amazing. Like she should be movie star down.
Megan being spiritually linked to Rachel McAdams feels so correct.
Yes, and at the time, Rachel McAdams was my cousin of the week.
That's right.
Years ago. And so I would say cousin of the week, and also because I do feel we could play cousins, my cousin of the week is Megan Fahey in Drop. Who's your cousin of the week?
My cousin of the week is I did not really see a moment of this, but it just I felt the cousin energy was Addison Rae showing up at the Argus set at Coachella. I was like, I love that for her.
Yeah.
She's always going to be a cousin. to
You
me.
know,
Yeah.
she gives cousin in that, like, I'm always like, she's got stuff going on. I don't know about it.
Exactly.
You
Which
know,
is what
and
a cousin
I'm
is.
happy for her. Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
you know, when
yeah.
I see the updates, scroll on by. But
Yeah,
like, I
she's
don't know what
busy.
she's going on.
I don't know what she's
Yeah.
going on.
My
Yeah.
cousin Addison is doing things.
Right.
What they are, I couldn't tell you.
She shot a music video in Paris. Oh,
But
my-
if you know exactly what your cousins are doing right now, grow up.
grow up.
I don't know what they're doing.
I
But I will say,
People
you know
who are
else,
close to their cousins,
No.
that could be an I don't think so, honey, for me.
Oh.
Quite frankly.
You
It
know
won't
who
be.
else kind of was giving cousin when she came out weekend one? By the way, the Charlie set at weekend one of Coachella was Billy, Troy, and Lorde all came out, which was only bested by Megan Thee Stallion set, which saw Victoria Monet, Queen Latifah,
Huge.
and Ciara.
Wow.
They did goodies.
Amazing.
Good luck booking that stage. She finally booked
booked-
that
she
stage.
booked that
She
stage
finally
she spoke
booked
of. Spoke
that
of.
stage that she spoke of.
But Lorde was kind of giving cousin energy.
Oh, that's good.
Lorde kind of gives cousin, and you're one of Lorde's biggest fans.
Biggest fans. I will say that, like, especially.
She announced her new single.
I saw that. I'm so excited. It'll probably be out by the time.
It's called What Was That?
Yeah, I can't.
Did you know that?
Wait.
Oh my god! You know I love that sentence.
Wait,
was
literally,
that?
I get texts from Lorde. Look, Lorde, because I signed up for the mailing list.
Yeah,
I
right.
love looking down on my phone and seeing that Lorde
Seeing Lorde
texted.
texted you.
My new song, What Was That, out soon.
Wendy Williams.
I know.
The core.
I hope she
that.
samples. I hope she samples.
I hope she samples.
Oh my God, look, and here, there's single art.
Because you know why? In she gave cousin energy in that she was finally, for the first time in a while, she was the elder cousin in that. In that
Yes.
lineup of people.
Yes, she was the elder
She was the elder cousin. And like, you know, it's like that thing where it's like, yeah, I just like, because she for so long was the youngest
Right.
in the entire extended family.
Yeah, she really was.
And now
You
that
know?
we're a little bit older, we're like, welcome.
Welcome, yeah.
Welcome in.
Okay, well, by the way, I just pre-saved What Was That on Spotify. It's probably out by now when we put this out, but I'm really excited. We need a powerful Lorde era.
Absolutely. And I was going to say, we have needed a huge song in pop that ends with the word that. I still think about the impact of why did you do that?
I can't stop thinking about it. The one of the titles of Joel's episods.
Yes.
Why did you do that
To me.
How have our thoughts on Stars Born sort of developed since that episode? I think the movie's even better.
It's even better. I'm sorry to say that after Gaga hosted, I was like, I need to fucking dig into this bitch once again.
Yeah, so good.
And the first 20 minutes of that fucking movie, the whole movie is
It took you to
amazing.
the Garden of Eden.
It took me to the Garden of Eden, and I mean, she's so damn
She's
good.
So good.
Like I forgot about the moment where they're at the bar in the beginning. She was like, "I'm here with Jackson Maine. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like the way her line read of like, I don't even know what's going on right now. I'm like, that's so sweet.
We love Gaga.
Love Gaga.
Okay, what about you?
Stars Born. I haven't revisited. I just talked about it recently though, because I was talking about how she was so wasted in Joker 2. Like, why cast her in that role, and why do bad singing?
Right.
Why cast Lady Gaga to be a bad singer? Like, it doesn't.
Correct.
Like, it seems like such a waste. Like, Gaga is as a singular entity will forever be iconic as a musician, as a pop star, as a person of the culture, and as an actress. Mm-hmm. But I do think after seeing The Penguin, you could slot Kristen Milioti into any role that Gaga has ever done.
Oh, and
it would be better.
Oh my God, Joel, you are
except for Stars Born. Except for Stars Born. Except for Stars Born.
Of course, but wow.
I know you're close personal friends now.
No, but
you just want Kristen Milioti to work more.
I want her to work more.
We all want that.
I just think she is so brilliant. You guys did not watch The Penguin.
I watched The Penguin.
You did watch The Penguin.
I watched The Penguin. She's amazing.
I came on here and sang the praises.
That is the way in this world where we cannot sell anything that is not connected to an existing IP. Like, that's the way you do it. Is you sneak in, like, The Penguin is not a story about the penguin. It is about women.
And women's stories matter.
Women's stories matter. They wrapped up women's stories in a fucking penguin piece of cheese and fed it to these boys that didn't know what was about to hit them.
And Colin was amazing.
And that's not to discount Colin's performance. It was incredible as well. But, like, I was so impressed with that show because you could not know what Batman is and enjoy the shit out of that show.
Absolutely.
And in fact, I had to convince many people who were like, I don't want to watch a Batman show.
It's not a Batman show.
And it's not a Batman show. It's a show about women.
Yeah.
But can I say Gaga would have been great in Penguin?
Yes, she would have.
She would have. No, it's true. I maybe not better is that maybe that's not the verbiage I want to say, but like I do think that like
you're seated for either of them.
You wanted Kristen Milioti in House of Gucci.
Yes, that's I think what I'm actually. That's the note behind the note.
I want House of Gucci 2 with Lady Gaga.
Yeah. Right.
Like I can't get enough of.
Who does what?
I can't get enough of House of Gucci.
You know, the House of Gucci. What? You know, best supporting actress in House of Gucci.
Salma Hayek.
Salma Hayek will do the goofiest shit. She will. She is down to clown. Like the fact.
I'm ready to do. I don't think so, honey.
Okay. This is I don't think so, honey. This is where we take 1 minute to go off on something in culture. Matt has something he is ready and rearing to go. This is Matt Rogers. I don't think so, honey. His time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. Not enough utilization of the icon Salma Hayek in media across television, film. I would love to hear the album. We need Salma Hayek's Pinot's debut album. By the way, House of Gucci, we needed the lesbian scene with Lady Gaga and Salma Hayek.
Yes.
I'm saying it now in the year of our Lord 2025. We needed that. I don't think so, honey, that we didn't get it and they shot it. Where's the deleted scenes? Bring back DVDs. That's another topic.
Yeah.
I don't think so, honey. The Marvel movie they tried to do with all of them, and they kill Salma Hayek off right away.
Oh, Eternals. Yeah.
Eternals. No, I guess not. I guess very, very temporary. The opposite of eternal. And I don't think so, honey, that we talk about Salma Hayek in this casual way. You should be bowing down to Salma Hayek. Salma Hayek, like, fucking, first of all, there was a very charming moment on the red carpet with Salma Hayek and Selena Gomez, and Selena Gomez went like this, oh, which I think was a really excited moment for Selena. When she saw Salma Hayek, she went, oh, and she raised her arms even. Salma Hayek has impact that we're not even understanding or recognizing, and we need to change that. I don't think so, honey.
And that's 1 minute.
Just a little like asterisk to your I don't think so, honey, is that like, I don't think so, honey, Marvel changing the line reading. In the original trailer for the Eternals, you can clearly hear Salma Hayek say, and I think we've talked about this on the pod before, THanos. When THanos, and she says it like that. And then we go and watch the film. We sit down for the film. Me and my life partner go down and sit for this film, excited to hear the line reading, THanos. And they changed it.
To THanos?
They changed it to THanos.
They made her go back
They
and
made
say
her
THanos?
go back into the ADR booth and say THanos.
I've got something. I've got it. I don't think so, honey.
Let's go. This is
I was gonna do it on
exciting
zippers,
moment.
but I'm like, I got nothing.
This
All right.
this is Bowen Yang's I Don't Think So, Honey. His time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. ADR, and this coming from an ADR legend. I slay the ADR booth because guess what I'm doing? I'm matching tone, I'm matching acoustics, I'm matching lip flaps. But sometimes it doesn't need to happen. Sometimes we stumble on our words, and sometimes the audience doesn't have to understand us.
Agree.
Or sometimes you can just cut around. You lose the whole damn line. ADR sometimes I don't mind it, but. Sometimes they count you in and they sink it in wrong. Sometimes it's just sometimes it's humiliating. You see, I don't want to see my fuck ups up close. And
15 seconds.
Maybe it's okay to sit with that. Maybe it's okay to not go back in the booth, because you know what? I like Sandra Bullock crumpling.
5 seconds.
I'm not good at voiceover in general, and ADR is my one safe space. But now I'm ready to let that go because I don't think it's worth it.
And that's 1 minute. I've never not noticed it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Always notice it.
Every
Always.
single time. And I'll go in to do ADR and I'll be like, I'll see what the issue is. And I'll be like,
It's
so you
fine.
think it's better to do obvious ADR over this? It's something about the post process that I don't understand. And when ADR is obvious, it drives me nuts.
Sometimes it's necessary.
And listen,
you get moments like THanos.
you get moments like that.
First of all, who's to say it's not actually pronounced Thanos?
Yeah.
On different
you
planets
know what?
and different
I think
galaxies?
it's very American that they did that.
Well, it is like, I think that they saw, because there was like a little bit of it was a little viral for that reason. And I think that they were like, this is a serious film.
Okay, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
First of all, here's my question. Do we think, and this is my question to you, someone who's seen Eternals, was her performance in the moment where she said Thanos like so stunning that they felt like they had to use the Thanos take, and maybe she said Thanos 8 other times, but they just didn't like those takes?
I don't know.
I believe that Salma Hayek gives a brilliant take every time.
I mean, comedic legend. I think Salma is like independently wealthy in a way that like the reason we don't see Salma is because Salma does not want to be seen.
Doesn't need to work. Yeah.
Yeah, she picks and chooses the weirdest things. Like that Black Mirror episode she did.
Oh, I love that
It's
episode.
so incredible. It's so incredible. But
Yeah.
like I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, how did they get her? How did they get her to do this?
I think it's an opposite thing. I think that I don't think people go to her enough.
I think people just assume that she's comfortable.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
I think people should roll the dice more on Salma.
I
think
think
filmmakers need to shoot their shot with Salma more.
she is like down. She's so willing to do take big comedic swings, big character choices. Like
Oscar-nominated actress. People forget.
incredible. 30 Rock, legendary.
Oh,
so
good.
Like one of
good.
the best of all time guest stars, reoccurring guest stars on that show.
And she was one of the best parts of House of Gucci.
and almost, I would say all of his girlfriends, stunt casted girlfriends on that show,
Yeah.
were
Edie
incredible.
Falco.
Elizabeth Banks, Edie Falco. There was another one. Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore, of
Um,
course. Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah.
And then Lachlan's mom.
Emily Mortimer.
Emily
Yeah.
Mortimer, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, Bones, Avian Bones.
Yes.
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 Oh, Avian Bones.
I just want to say, I know this is cheating, but like I haven't been here in a while. The other two I don't think so honeys that we're going to do, other than the one I'm about to do,
Okay.
is I don't think so honey people who text their email address or phone number in this, not in a separate text, to make it easily copy and paste.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a very
my
specific
God.
That is texting etiquette 101 as far as I'm concerned. Do not send me your email address or phone number in the body of a large block of text so that I cannot get to it.
that I have to delete.
Instagram DMs. Instagram DMs especially are hard.
Yes.
You know? And it's just like I cannot stand it. I was like, now I have to do this manually.
You've changed my
Yeah.
behavior. Thank you.
Thank you. And the other one was people who say, wow, that really made me laugh in the group chat. Because you are upending the entire ecosystem of haha, LOL, ha 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 ha.
It's texture.
Yeah, you've now downgraded.
Now
its impact.
You've really pulled the curtain, and I'm seeing like, oh, with that pithy thing that I said that got 4 haha reacts on the chain.
So how do you feel
nothing.
about this? How do you feel about these two words? Actual lol. You know,
No, you've broken the illusion.
I say actual lol.
And the thing is, what does lol mean then? What does lol mean?
What does lol mean?
Should this episode be called actual lol?
What about this? I'm laughing.
I love I'm laughing.
Yeah.
I love I'm laughing.
I'm laughing.
I'm laughing.
It's like all of it though is just sort of like, oh, that took me out. Did it take you out?
Right.
Did it really take you out?
That took me out.
I'm laughing is so general use, so many use cases for it. If you're actually lolling, say it applies. If you're just lolling, for etiquette purposes, great. I'm laughing is the way.
I'm laughing. I promise you I really am. Like if I say I'm laughing, I promise you I really am. Haha emoji or haha whatever reaction thing, I can't promise that I'm haha.
No.
I can promise that I can
You
back up that I
recognize-
did think it's fun.
Yeah. It's an intellectual exercise, the haha react.
Yeah, that made me laugh. I don't like. I'm laughing.
I'm laughing. I
Yeah.
love. Wow, that really made me laugh. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And I of course love actual lol.
I have friends who do Real Grin, RG.
No!
I'm so sorry. They're fans
Can I
of the
tell you
podcast,
something?
so they're
you
going
don't
to be so
have those
upset.
friends anymore.
They're gone. What about Itchball?
Itchball. Itchball.
I love Itchball.
Had a moment.
It did really have a
Itchball
moment.
is still in
But it's
rotation.
like going. The cycles are moving too fast. Like we had Chugi for just a brief moment.
Yeah, but
and now
Chugi
it's
was never built to
Hubs.
last.
Hubs is apparently the new one.
Hubs.
Hubs. It's how you refer. How Gen Alpha is referring apparently to people that they have crushes on.
Hubs,
Or
like
interested.
husband?
And correct me if I'm wrong.
Like
I
hubby.
believe it is associated with that.
Okay,
That is
I like
that is the
Hubs.
father
Okay.
word. But this is direct intel from Maya Rudolph about her 14-year-old
I
daughter.
see.
So like it could just be whatever is going on in
Local.
LA. I haven't done the research, or I haven't asked ChatGPT
Sure,
to confirm or deny.
Itchball, I really am a fan of. I
But
just
are
burst out
people
laughing.
are people itchballing still?
He does.
I'm doing it.
Wow.
I just burst out laughing.
I just burst out laughing.
Well, I mean, it's the same sort of over the top like nonsense as rolling on the floor.
Right.
I
Like,
never
I'm
liked
sorry.
Ruffle.
Get off the floor.
Get off the floor.
Get off the floor.
It's
That
dirty.
wasn't
You're
that
rolling
filthy.
around.
It's filthy on the floor.
It's filthy. Okay, now I'm ready to do
Okay.
another one.
All right. So after two, I don't think so, honeys. Here's Joel's real I don't think so, honey. This is Joel Kim Bush's I don't think so, honey. His time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. Singing competition shows. I'm talking about you, American Idol. Guess what, American Idol? You did it on the first try. You found her, okay?
Yeah.
Hang it up. We don't need you anymore. We do not need The Voice. We do not need X Factor. We do not need America's Got Talent to find singers for us anymore, because guess what? There is no monoculture. There is no monoculture, and your gig, your little playbook only works if everybody's watching, and no one is watching anymore. Not all of America, okay? There are too many
30
musicians.
seconds.
These are professional karaoke competition shows with a cash prize at the end, and that's okay.
That's okay.
But sell them on that. Do
Yep.
not promise them a career. Do not promise them that they'll be stars, because many of them will not be stars. They will end up as the third replacement
15
on
seconds?
Broadway of a B-tier musical, okay?
that's a job.
A B-tier musical. Jukebox. And yes, I don't want to take away jobs from people, but I'm just saying,
5 seconds.
let's frame what you are appropriately, and that is a karaoke competition show with a cash prize.
And that's 1 minute. Okay.
I just stood up clapping. Edge suck. Edge suck.
But
I just stood up clapping.
I would like to say, for the record, I told you this before the record, I am watching. I'm still
Yeah, you're the
watching.
biggest fan of these
I'm
shows.
watching American Idol. I'm watching The Voice.
Yeah.
I'm watching it all happen. Amazing, talented people come through there. But the fact of the matter is that no one is famous anymore. Like it is like so crazy. It makes me
dishonest.
laugh. It makes me laugh when people, as an insult, are like, I don't even know who this person is, and it's like, no one knows.
No one
And
knows. Yeah,
there is
I
not.
hate that.
There is not one person. There are very few people, I should say,
Right.
that everybody knows.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't exist. And in a world where that doesn't exist, and it's so fractured,
Right.
that like you couldn't create another Kelly Clarkson.
Right.
You couldn't and the reason why it was successful up until a certain point through, we got Fantasia, we got Carrie, we got Jennifer Hudson,
Clay.
etc., Clay. But that was still back when we were talking at the
Tuning
water
in. Yes,
cooler
yes.
about television.
Yeah.
And there's just no monoculture anymore. And you can only create stars like that
Well,
when there is a monoculture.
You know what's funny is who technically is an American Idol find, is Benson Boone.
Yeah, I found that
and
out
the
recently.
only reason he's as famous as he is because he quit abruptly.
I didn't know that.
So he was on American Idol. He gave this insane audition, like this amazing audition, and Katy Perry was literally like, "Do you want to win this show? You can. If that's what you want, you can win this show." And then he like made it to, I guess like the live rounds or whatever, and then was abruptly gone. I think because someone got in his head and was like, "Yo, if you want a real career, don't stay
can't
on
be on
this
the
through the live
show."
shows. Do not."
Yeah, no, that happened recently with another contestant, a young girl who was giving like Taylor Swift like the heir apparent, and like by the time she made it to the lives, she was out because of the contracts. The contracts
Yeah,
that they all
yeah.
have.
I also
And that's
wanna
another thing that is the problem with this, is that like you're locking these people into things that like maybe not necessarily help them. You know?
Yeah. Do you listen to this podcast? Though?
I watch it. I listen to it.
Was it? Do you watch or listen?
I listen to it.
There's a lot of holes in your story already.
I listen to it when it for me, it's a touchdown for me and my friends.
Okay.
I don't
we not
listen
your
to it
friends?
when it's stars.
You don't listen to it when it starts.
I don't listen to it when it
You
stars.
didn't
and
listen to the Gaga episode.
I have listened to the Gaga episode,
Okay,
obviously.
so there's lots of holes in the story.
Okay, and I listened to the Kelly. I guess for me,
I listened to the Kelly Clarkson episode 2 years ago.
the thing
don't
is,
like this at all.
I listen when there's stars that I know matter to you too.
So, did you listen to
Chapel Roan?
Chapel Roan?
Dropped
It
today.
came out
That
today.
that dropped today. I watched her. I don't think so, honey. Claps to her.
Great, I don't think
As
so,
a
honey.
scholar of the form, I think it was a fantastic.
She did great.
I don't think so.
She
honey.
did great.
Yeah.
And you did great, and you did great, and I did great today.
Yeah, everybody did great
This
today.
was a wonderful return to form.
I was gonna say people will herald this as a return to form.
We're back.
Yeah. I mean, like, listen, I've listened to the Cole episode 19,000
White?
times.
No, the recent one.
Yeah, the recent
Emergency with my closest friend.
Yeah, emergency with my closest friends. I literally we were trapped in a Burning Man exit line for about 8 hours, and we only had the podcasts that were already downloaded on our phones to listen to.
You had to go back.
We went back and listened to it again.
I forget about that as a thing people can do. Like people can have favorite episodes of a podcast.
That is sweet.
Like we have that. Like we listen to the what is it?
Murder on the Stupid Bitch Express.
Murder
all
on the
time.
Stupid Bitch
On
Express.
All the
InfoWars.
time.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. We revisit Meg's episode constantly.
Stalter?
Yeah.
That was when I got hit by your car.
Yeah.
Yeah, we visited. I feel like people see a new classic in the Gabby Wendy episode.
Yeah, they do. They love
that
the
one was
Gabby
great too.
episode.
But like, I think like it makes me sad sometimes because I want to be tactile with my sisters. I want to be.
You want to be in the room.
You want to be in the room. I
Liz
understand.
Feldman, you know?
I understand.
You want to be with Liz Feldman.
No, you want to be Liz Feldman.
Just had her on my
can.
podcast. She was amazing.
She's great.
great.
She's great.
Incredible.
That was a really good episode.
Yeah, no.
too.
And again, I did listen to that one too. But it's just
Okay,
it's
so
not,
lots of holes, and maybe that's the title of that. Lots of holes.
lots of holes in one room.
No, but we have actual law. We have lots of holes, and we have riding on the brown line. Maybe, but
think riding on the
brown
brown
line.
That feels the most Joel. You know what I mean?
Well, what else would feel the most Joel is to plug his project.
Oh yeah, so you can listen to Bad Dates. It comes out every Monday, I think. I want to say every Monday, or Tuesday. It comes out every week.
comes out
it
every
comes out
week.
on a weekly basis. Matt's been on. I haven't gotten Bowen yet. I haven't landed my white whale yet.
Busy.
But you can watch Love Hotel every Sunday at 8/7 Central, following Real Housewives of Atlanta on Bravo, not on Peacock anymore.
Wait,
but on Bravo.
8/7 Central, but
After-
following Atlanta.
I might have gotten it wrong.
Oh, maybe it's
Yeah,
not. Or maybe I got it
9/8.
wrong. Maybe it's not following Atlanta. Maybe it's lead into Atlanta.
It's just on Sundays.
But it's just on Sundays.
It's got to be following Atlanta.
I don't know, but
If
it's
I'm
on-
programming Bravo, I'm putting it on after Atlanta.
Yeah. So catch that. The show is fucking fantastic. It is.
I want to see.
It's
these women
going
find
to
love.
be really. It's very different from anything that they've ever tried to do. I think it's. Obviously I'm biased, but I think it's a compelling watch. And you'll see these ladies in a very different light, from their respective.
And wait,
seasons.
it's Shannon, Giselle, Ashley, and
Luann.
Luann. Okay, so I like
One of them.
some of the people on it.
I like one of them.
The thing is you'll get your life watch. It will take you out.
Yeah, and Idjwal.
An edge ball,
I'm laughing.
and you'll be on the floor.
Is I'm laughing
no
the
matter
title
who
of that?
you're watching.
It's riding the brown line. Period.
Period.
We'll discuss.
And then
Let's discuss. I want to support my sister.
Riding on the brown line.
Riding on the
What
brown line.
else?
And then I guess
Loot.
like Loot will be out later this year, and
Great.
other things to be continued.
To be continued. We end every episode with a big old song.
I forgot about this part. I'm so excited.
Oh, holy night. Lots of holes. The stars are brightly shining. It is the night. It is the day.
It is the night. I've got it wrong.
Indeed.
You really took that song and you made it your own.
Yes. Oh, Carrie Underwood, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Las Culturistas is a production by Will Ferrell's Big Money Players and iHeartRadio podcasts.
Created and hosted by Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang. Executive produced by Anna Hosnier and Hans Sani.
Produced by Becca Ramos. Edited and mixed by Doug Babe and Monique Laborde.
And our music is by Henry Kapersky.